Welcome to the course of Critical Discourse Analysis. In this course, I'll introduce you to what is critical discourse analysis in the beginning, and I'll try to explain what it is made of and what kind of aspects it includes. But even before that, it's very important to understand what is discourse analysis, because critical discourse analysis is a recent development in critical discourse analysis, and it looks quite necessary to look into discourse analysis first and then moving on to critical discourse analysis. The term discourse analysis was first introduced by Zelling Harris in the middle of the last century. And why did he introduce this concept or term? He actually wanted to include the analysis of a text beyond a sentence level. Before that, or previously, we had the measures to analyze a text up till text level or sentence level. We had, let's say, phonology to understand and analyze basic sounds. We had morphology to look into how various sounds combine into different words and they make meaningful units. Similarly, we had syntax to understand the combination of words into phrases or even into sentences. But we didn't have any established measure to understand a text beyond a sentence level. And most of the people who supported the making of discourse analysis agreed upon the point that the real communication actually happens beyond a sentence level. So there should be certain measure and there should be certain techniques to understand the text beyond a sentence level. And that was the basic reason where the study of discourse analysis in its formal way started. It also aimed at looking into the relationship between linguistic and non-linguistic behaviors. What we say is important, but how we say it is also equally important. Let's say there is a very simple sentence, how are you? It is usually asked, used as a greeting, usually asked in the beginning of a communication, and it's a very goodwill gesture kind of sentence. But if the same sentence is said in a very harsh tone, it might convey a very different meanings, maybe of anger instead of goodwill. So in a real life communication, words only do not communicate all meanings. Rather, we have to see how those words have been uttered. Therefore, discourse analysis aims to look into the things how they are uttered. So this leads us to think that we need to look into the text as they occur in various cultural contexts and realities. Discourse analysis ranges from textually oriented approaches to contextual oriented approaches. The discourse analysis cannot be seen as a combination of similar ideas or a uniform idea. Rather, it's a combination of various ideas in which some people would probably focus on the language of the text more than its context, and the others would focus on the context more than the text itself. Then in discourse analysis, we need to look at language beyond sentence clause level, and this is understood that in order to be successful in a communication, you need to think about language beyond this basic level. That actually means looking into the relationship of language and its context, the context in which it is uttered. In other words, it also leads us to think that in order to understand the meaning of a language properly, we need to look at it from its pragmatic view also. The discourse structure of text is also very important. How we say something can convey different meaning in different situations. For example, the same sentence or the same clause said differently into different situations may mean different things, or otherwise two different things said similarly into different situations might mean the same thing. So there could be a variety of meanings emerging from the same sentence in different contexts, or there could be the similarity of meanings emerging from different sentences said in a particular way. Therefore, we need to understand the cultural and contextual ways of saying something. For example, how people sell or buy things in a certain context is important to understand communication patterns of a particular culture. Therefore, we can say that communicative competence and discourse understanding is very important in the contemporary era. There are different aspects or views about discourse analysis. Usually it is said that discourse is something which contributes to the construction of reality. Reality itself is an independent entity or thing or being, but how we describe it through a discourse or people describe it may make different meanings to different people. It is generally said in today's world that one community's freedom fighter is another community's terrorist. We can take so many examples from the recent happenings in Kashmir also. So we can see that how we construct a certain viewpoint in a discourse may mean differently to different communities. So discourse is used to construct reality also. Reality is something which is happening on ground somewhere, but how different people say it may mean different to different people. Similarly, discourse also contributes to the construction of socially situated identities of the people. What we say and how we say it is not only about conveying a certain meaning, rather it also tells a lot about our background, our identities, our social networks, our groups, etc. So discourse is a major mean of the construction of identity. Similarly, it is also believed that discourse is performance. Discourse is not a combination of words only, what we say or what we speak or write something. Rather, it is a kind of performance. When we say something, we do it. If I say, please get me a glass of water, I am actually performing the action of request. So discourse should also be seen as a performance and not only as a collection of words. Then discourse has an intertextual relation also. We cannot isolate one discourse from the previous discourses or from the coming discourses about the same topic. In simple words, it means that the discourses about a certain topic may be said on different occasions, have close interconnection with each other. So we are living in a kind of intertextual relationship. There are certain assumptions about discourse analysis which are important to be understood in order to understand overall discourse analysis and critical discourse analysis also. For example, it is understood that language is ambiguous, and language not always convey all the meanings. Rather, we need to understand the intentions of the speaker, how they say it, and in which context they say it in order to understand the complete meaning. Language is always in the world. Again, it implies that we have to understand the context in which something is said in order to grasp the complete meaning of what is being said. The way we use language is inseparable from who we are and where we belong to. In simple word, it means that language constructs our identities also. Finally, language is never used all by itself. Rather, it is combined by our gestures, our tone, our facial expressions. In case of written language, the fonts and the other layouts we use do have certain meanings also. So language does not operate in isolation. Rather, it is combined by other socio-cultural factors also. So discourse analysis, in short, studies language beyond a sentence level on a structure side, and on a social side, it studies language in a certain socio-cultural context.